new home for podcasts and original music.
The Zagnif One Radio Network.
Nick Saban does not play anybody less than his. He doesn't put anybody less on the field than his very best players.
Bama does what Bama do. Sorry, I heard a noise. My bad. Somebody just left it on it on my step.
That Colorado defense is definitely underrated, but they ended up pulling it out late. They have one of the players to watch for, Isaiah Spiller.
Oh, it's better. It's better now. Trust me. Like back in the day, there was at least one murder. So I mean, it's better now.
You realize that you're not doing anything to press your case by getting me to go down there. No, man, come on down there. It was only one murder. Yeah, they're only averaging one murder a year.
And shout out to Florida. They're playing them this Saturday. Number 11 ranked Florida playing number 1 Alabama. So I think that's going to be a high scoring game. And
wow. Well played, Collin. Well played. I did not see that one coming. you get a double finger point, one for me and one for Sean. You need to get deep.
Here we go. Get your popcorn ready.
What's the big thing?
Hey, gang, what is happening? What is happening? What is happening? It is your guy, Mr. Fingaz, coming to you live from Zagnif Central in beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. And I am here with my homie, the ace in the place, the brother from another, my man, Collin P. And welcome to this week's edition of This Week in SEC Football. And I'm sorry if I sound a little bit off. I dropped my phone. I was trying to get trying to get the post out so that people could see it, and I dropped the phone. And then I had the feedback coming in the microphone. I was like, oh, my God, it's going to be a hot, stinking mess. But here we are, y'all. Thank y'all so much for joining us today. Collin, what's going on, my man?
What's happening with you, man? It's a little bit windy up here in Northern Virginia, trying to keep the house down on the ground here so we don't have any Wizard of Oz type nonsense out here.
I hear you, bro. I hear you, man. I hear you. Well, listen here. Before we go another further, we know that you have a catchphrase that caught on as soon as we started the show. We were talking about those fellas from Tuscaloosa and those fellas from Tuscaloosa and how they just have been knocking everybody out that has been in there.
Bama does what Bama do.
And so, Bama does what Bama do. That has become your catchphrase here. So what we have done, we came up with a T-shirt right here that you guys can get if it will let me do what it's supposed to do. There we go. There it is. And there it is. You can get that beautiful T-shirt right there, right now at Zazzle.com/Zagnif_apparel. It says Bama does what Bama do. It's got my man Collin on there in the SEC. You can go there and get yours right now. And if you use the code, I didn't even catch the code. Hang on. The code is Z Holiday Wrap. If you use the code Z Holiday Wrap, you will get 20% off your purchase today. Believe the t-shirt is $25, and 20% off for that would be $5. And that ends today. I know it's a little late to be letting you guys know it's 9 o'clock on the East Coast, 8:15 here in the Central Time Zone. But if you go to Zazzle.com/Zagnif apparel, right, you can read it at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah,
you can get that T-shirt today for $25 plus the shipping, and you'll get it in less than 10 days right now.
Tell you what, man, I'm a Georgia fan. I might have to get one of those just myself.
Oh yeah, because that's your catchphrase.
That's my name on the bottom.
That's your catchphrase. Plus that you have a few friends back in the DMV there. I say back in the DMV like you're not still in the DMV.
Yeah.
You got a few folks in the DMV that would gladly rock that.
I've got several Bama fans right here, buddies.
Yeah. So, bruh, we get it done against Tennessee last week.
Mm-hmm.
with no food condiment issues or sporting goods accessories or flying water bottles or anything like that.
Right.
Uh, and so it is official. The Dogs have closed out the season with a perfect conference record. Uh, they've closed out the season with a perfect conference record. They are basically just sitting in the driver's seat right now, waiting to see who they will face in the SEC championship game. Right now, this weekend, we are facing Charleston Southern. This game is going to be on ESPN Plus and SEC Plus. If you do not have a subscription, you're gonna have to find a YouTube channel with somebody that's with a YouTube channel that with somebody that's streaming it live, because it's not going to be on regular network television or your basic cable package. Kudos to those of you that have tickets. I hate every single one of you because I
Right.
won't be there.
Yeah.
But this game is pretty much. I think Georgia right now, ESPN has Georgia at 99% odds to win this game. They don't think Charleston Southern will even score. They might not even get close enough to get a field goal. So that's that. We also have, let's see what other games. Kentucky State at 11 o'clock on the SEC network at noon. Our kickoff is also a noon kickoff. Kentucky's playing New Mexico State. Now, for those of you that don't remember, New Mexico State was that team that I told to take the long drive to Tuscaloosa. This week, they're going to be playing in Kentucky. They got to take another road trip. Go on by and see Colonel Harlan Sanders' home. Check out the headquarters and see if you can find out what the 11 herbs and spices are, even though the recipe's been on Google for about 6 or 7 years. Take a long trip. It won't be as bad as Alabama. You'll probably score a couple of touchdowns, maybe. But, yeah, just enjoy your trip as you can. Be another long weekend for New Mexico State. Let's see who else we got. We got Florida at Missouri. Dude, I think Dan Mullen's ship has sailed. I've read several articles this week that said that chances are they're going to more than likely re-sign him. They'll bring him back next year. Right now, they said his job is safe for now, but he's still got 2 games left in the pipes. He's got Missouri this weekend. He's got Florida State next weekend, and I think I think they really have to beat the crap out of both these teams in order for Dan Mullen to keep his job.
I would think so too.
It has been said
they've only got Florida. I mean, Florida's picked 8.5 against Missouri, so that's wow. That's kind of a slap in the face of them. I mean,
that's not a that's not a lot. That's not a lot.
No.
Because at the beginning of the season, the odds for that were the line for that was probably a heck of a lot higher.
Oh yeah.
But everybody has postulated that they probably won't fire him until after the season is over, and if they fire him,
I was going to say I'd be quite surprised. I mean, I'd be quite surprised if they don't fire him. But I mean,
well, here's the thing: it's been pretty surprising. It's been pretty surprising so far who's been fired. I was doing a segment earlier in the year called Living on the Edge, and there you go. There's that soundbite. And it was who was on the hot seat. Mm-hmm. And to be completely honest, none of the coaches that I had on the hot seat, all of them still have jobs. Scott Frost is still at Nebraska. Manny Diaz is still at Miami. Norville is still at Florida State. So, but other coaches are getting canned, or they're just outright just up and walking away, like the coach at I think it was Texas Tech. Mm-hmm. They let him. Texas Tech, was it? They let him go. Yeah, it was Texas Tech. He said that. So,
yeah,
you know. We also have let's see what other game. But yeah, so I don't know. Mullen. That's going to be a wait and see.
Yeah.
I mean, he's also fallen off the chain. He's only been there 5 years, I think. This is his 5th season. But he's got a conference championship under his belt. So he does have the availability and the wherewithal to do it.
Yeah.
Just the question is, I would have to do a deep dive into his coaching staff to see if he's lost any key pieces of the coaching staff or key players that he was unable to replace through recruiting.
Yeah.
Another game that has zero bearing on what's going on this weekend. South Alabama is in Neyland full because the fans win a game
Mhm.
in their home stadium. Especially after the calamity that was Ole Miss and last week. I mean, dude, third quarter, stadium's almost empty. Nobody
Right.
in there. All you can hear is the red coat band and the fans just yelling their heads off.
Exactly.
I think that'll be a good bounce back game for Tennessee. LSU is playing Louisiana Monroe in what should be a guaranteed win, but may not be. We know that that is the penultimate hurrah for lame duck coach. Now referred as lame duck coach Ed Orgeron. Go Tigers! You only got another 8-9 days to hear that, and then it's
He's
a
gonna
wrap.
go. He's gonna go
I
have a
don't think
cheeseburger. He's got
LSU.
enough money to go get him a cheeseburger. So he's gonna go get one.
Well, I think they're trying to build a case to not pay him. Let's just say they might find a legitimate reason. Might find a legitimate reason between now and the next game to cut him loose. They've got until next week before they take the field to fire him, because once he goes on the field and plays, he's done. So $17 million. I'm sorry if I owed somebody $17 million.
Yeah.
And I look, man, if you came to work for me, then I owed you $17 million on the way out the door. If I had a legitimate, not something drummed up, if I had a legitimate reason to fire you for cause and not pay you, you could best believe I'm gonna be trying to find it.
Oh, absolutely.
100%.
Don't get any better than this though, for a reason to get firing. You know.
I mean, if it's just, other than the fact that he chased a few skirts and did a few dumb things in practice, then I don't know. They might not have a leg to stand on. But so yeah, Tiger fans, you got this weekend and next weekend to hear "Go Tigers" one more time, unless he winds up going to play. Not to play. Oh my God, he's too old to play. He's 60-something to coach for another team called the Tigers.
Yeah.
That would be absolutely hilarious. Like if he wound up in Memphis.
That would be
Go Tigers.
That would be fun.
Hey, that would be absolutely hilarious. Or wait, if Clemson fired Dabo Sweeney.
Oh yeah.
He'd be confused. He'd be like, "Whoa!" He'd be like, "War Tigers, War Tigers, go Tigers, go Eagles, War Tigers."
Auburn, yeah, that one too. How many?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Right. I don't know that Harsin. Yeah, I don't know that Harsin is safe either. I mean, at least he finally. It's jacked up that it came down to Bo Nix breaking his ankle for him to just finally go to. I got to put Finley in, because now he doesn't have a choice.
Right.
Because Nix is hurt. So now that you don't have a choice, now you're going to put this guy out here. And here's what's going to happen. He's got to hope that he's going to have to root against himself for his job's sake. Yeah. You know how bad that must be to be in a position where you have to root against yourself for your job's sake? He's got to hope that kid goes out there and is absolutely horrible. Because if that kid goes out there and balls out for 8 quarters of football,
that's a bad look.
Then the question is going to be, why wasn't he out there playing before?
Right.
We saw him in the game against West Georgia, Southwest Eastern Georgia, and Georgia State. I'm sorry. My apologies. my apologies, y'all. It's been a long season. We saw him in the Georgia State game. We know what he was capable of. We get that you were trying to keep your starter. But once you get about 2 or 3 games of the same, it's time for you to start looking, because your job as the coach, I've said this before, your job as the coach is to win games.
Right.
You want to nourish the young men's spirits. You can still do that, but your job as the coach is to win games.
Yep. And he should have had him in there taking snaps regardless. Like if Bo Nix was doing what, Bo Nix normally does, he's on one of those tears where, he wasn't doing that great. You should have threw him in there to get the experience. I mean, now you have, like you said, you're at the have-to point. So, I mean, Nix is not there for you to do that. So now you're throwing him to the wolves and throwing him in the frying pan. And you're not sure what's going to happen there. So you didn't have a full back.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah. 100%. Now you're in this position. Now, seriously, you're in a position now where you got to hope against all hope that your guy goes out there and pisses the bed.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if that kid goes out there and he balls out, then boy, are you ever ever in trouble.
Yes, sir. Kind of follow along with that.
But
the teams that are playing now, we playing. Who's Georgia playing again? I can't remember. But now this would be the perfect time for all these. These Stetson haters for JT to get his due to maybe shut some of them up. Maybe and get him in there. So,
oh no, they won't. That won't shut the Stetson haters up. For those of you that are new, to what's going on in the SEC, if you haven't been following that specifically, if you've just been watching the games, amongst the fans there seems to be this, and it's been happening every year, at least a year. Because it was Jake Fromm and Jake Eason, then it was Jake Fromm and Justin Fields. And then it was Jake Fromm and JT Daniels. And now this year it's been JT Daniels and Stetson Bennett. And the question has always been, why isn't coach playing such and such? Well, Stetson's winning games, man. Right. We don't have to rehash. We don't have to rehash why Stetson is doing what Stetson's doing. He's winning. It's just like when he put Jake Fromm in, it was supposed to be a temporary fix while his starter was out hurt. And Jake Fromm became the leader of the team. It is the same situation. Stetson Bennett has become the leader of the team. He might not have the big, pretty, flashy arm. He might not be the fastest in the field. Does he miss reads? Sure. But newsflash, Tom Brady misses reads too. And people say he's the greatest in the world. Greatest in the world, he is. Yes.
He got beat by the football team, the team that has no name. So, I mean, Tom Brady did,
Yeah, he got beat by the Washington football team this past Sunday. Mm-hmm. He got beat by the 9-7 New York Giants in 2007 when they ran the table from the tape to tape and then just completely eliminated. They completely eliminated their divisional opponent. They completely eliminated their conference opponent. They wiped the table with everybody. They broke records all season, and he got beat by Eli Manning.
Yeah.
Not once, twice. And he got beat by Carson Wentz. And where's Carson? Where's Carson now? What's Carson doing?
I don't know what he's doing now.
Carson's going to be a sportscaster soon, folks. In case you haven't figured it out, he's going to be in a booth somewhere calling games. I mean, he had his moment of shining glory in the Super Bowl. So Tom Brady has.
What kills me is like even some of these. I'm not going to say all Georgia fans, but a lot of them, which I cannot ever understand. That even though he would, he will make an amazing play, like Stetson would. He would, run it in like he ran it in for 30 yards. They would find something wrong with it. JT would have done it better. JT would have, there's probably about 3 receivers that were open that he missed. That's why he ran. I mean, the boy scored 6 points, and you got to find something wrong with it. Can't give him his props for anything. But JT would have done XYZ better just because he's JT.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
But then here's the messed up part. If they put JT in, and then here's the messed up part. Here's the really messed up part. They cried and cried and cried for Justin Fields to be put in the game. Why isn't he playing? He's so much better than Jake. Look at what he's doing. And then he went to Ohio State and he balled out. Absolutely. I got news flash for you. JT Daniels would ball out if he went to Ohio State. Jacob Eason would ball out if he went to Ohio State. Hell, Stetson would ball out if he went to Ohio State. Why? Even the level of competition in the Big Ten is a little different. We've seen it. I synced it.
You synced it.
Okay. You got three teams. You got the 3 teams at the top tier of the Big Ten. The big 3, Ohio State and the 2 schools from Michigan. Then you got right on the fringe, you got Iowa, and then you got the spoiler makers, and you got, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So those are your top 3 teams, and everybody else is basically right now. It's except for Iowa and Purdue, it's a guarantee. It's almost a guaranteed win every single Saturday. That's where it is. So. I mean, so they cried and cried and cried. Why isn't Justin Fields in? Why isn't Justin Fields in? Justin went to Ohio State. He balled out. He got drafted by the Bears, and now he's with Chicago, and he's in a bad situation. And now they're like, screw him for leaving us, and he should have stayed. You know what? Y'all, that was it. But wait, that was the guy you wanted. Now you don't like him anymore because he sucks. Because he doesn't suck, but because he plays for a team that sucks.
Right.
Now you're making fun of him for crying on the sidelines. He's a 20-something-year-old kid getting his ass handed to him, and the front office the front office and coaching staff are doing nothing to help
the kid.
Protect him to help him from getting hurt.
Right. Yeah.
I'm just saying, but that's the big debate every year. Listen, now I'm not questioning your fanhood. My question is, why is it such a debate when we're still winning?
That's my problem.
I feel like
I can understand the critiquing and all this, that, and the other if we were losing, but we're not losing. We're 10-0 for God's sakes. Why is it even a conversation?
I mean, don't get it twisted. You still have the right to have your opinion. This is the United States of America, as this is the United States of America. Yes, and you have your right to free speech and et cetera, et cetera. But we're winning. I think part of that contingent is just waiting for him to fail, just so they can say, see, I knew he was going to cost us a game. Okay, be quiet. Okay, be quiet. They lost to Georgia Tech. They're still going to play in the SEC championship game, and they will still get in the playoffs if they win. Yeah. So be quiet. That's the thing that I hate is the people that wait for somebody to fail so they can say, see, I knew I was right. That's the thing that I hate about it. Is the I know that I'm right mentality.
No matter how long it takes, if it happens, it's going to be, I was right.
If Stetson balls out, watch this. Stetson balls out, goes out and drops 3 bills on Charleston Southern, and then drops 350 on Georgia Tech, and then drops, and shut up before you guys say I'm dreaming. This is a hypothetical situation. Goes out and drops 4 bills on Alabama, win the SEC championship, and then goes and gets the MVP of the national championship game in the national title, and gets drafted as a high first round draft pick. And goes to a team that sucks and turns them around, and in 2 years wins a Super Bowl and a Super Bowl MVP with them. You know what you're going to say the minute he throws an interception? See, I told you that boy wasn't no good. Yep. I told you. I've been telling you since he was back in Georgia. Remember? I told you JT Daniels was better. Well, where's JT Daniels? Up in the booth, with your boy from Alabama. Up in the booth with AJ McCarron and the girlfriend that Britt Musburger wouldn't stop talking about. His girlfriend is so beautiful. That was kind of anyway. We're gonna get into that. He's up in the booth. He's up in the booth calling games in Sanford on Saturday because he couldn't ever stay healthy. JT was a better quarterback. Yeah, sure. Uncle Rico was a great quarterback, and Al Bundy threw 4 touchdowns for Polk High School, but he's selling shoes.
Exactly. And nobody's disagreeing that he might be on paper or whatever have you. He is yes, he's a better quarterback than Stetson. But at the same point, I mean, I don't understand if it ain't broke, don't fix it type of thing. He's winning games, finding ways to make plays. He's out there proving that he is actually playing his heart out. So give the kid his due.
Yeah. Definitely, absolutely. And with that note, that gives me the opportunity to thank those of you that are watching us today, this week in SEC football, whether you're watching live or you're watching the replay, we appreciate you being here. This episode is sponsored by DJG Enterprises and www.greekgans.com. They can get you some of the coolest custom-made gear that you may have ever seen when it comes to sports. You can get engraved 20-ounce tumblers with whatever you want on it. Oh, you can't see that right now because I got the thing on the screen, so you can't see it. You can get engraved tumblers. You can get custom-made Afghans. They will square you up. Let's see. Where do we go from here? And, yeah, by the way, don't forget to get your Bama Does What Bama Do shirt. That's Collin's catchphrase right there.
Yeah.
Your Bama Does What Bama Do shirt. You can get that right now, ladies and gentlemen, if you go to Zazzle.com/Zagnif_apparel. If you get one today with the code Z Holiday Wrap, you will get 20% off your purchase. It's a $25 shirt. You'll get it for 20 plus whatever the shipping and handling is. You can actually customize the shirt. You don't necessarily have to get it with just that on it. You can put something on the back if you want to. You can put little pictures on it if you want to. Whatever you want to do with that, those are available. So we talked about Georgia, and we talked about how things aren't tied up. So here's the big question.
Yeah,
we've known now for 4 weeks who is going to represent the East. It is yet to be settled. We are 2 weeks out from the end of the season, and it is yet to be settled as to who will be facing the Dogs in that number one defense in the SEC championship game.
Yep.
Because even though Bama is leading the charge right now at 9-1, they haven't locked it up. You want to know why? Because there's still a lot of if factors left in this whole thing. I sent you and I sent Sean. I was watching the other day. My guy, Gold and Blue dude. He is a big time West Virginia. Excuse me. I don't mean to do that. That's rude. I shouldn't do that on. Just all my sinuses are acting funny on me because it's that time of year when the heat, when the heater kicks in. That's normally around the time when my sinuses decide to start doing that funky thing. Do you have that pulled up? Because I cannot find it. Texas A&M.
Oh yeah.
This part right now. What I do know is that if Texas A&M wins out and Alabama loses out, Texas A&M is in.
So basically, it's A&M gets in if they win out. Bama loses out, and Ole Miss loses to Vandy, but beats Mississippi State. That's what you said.
Yeah. So
that's a whole
there you go.
A&M
still has a shot, but there's a whole lot of what ifs that have to happen in order for that to happen. Now, Texas A&M, their schedule is fairly easy, and the way they're playing, they're going to beat Prairie View.
Yeah.
They're going to beat Prairie View, and they play Prairie View at 11, also on ESPN and SEC Network Plus at the same time. Wow, we got 2 games in the SEC. I can't believe that's a game that still is a factor that still factors in who could win the West that they're showing on a non-network network.
Yeah, I mean that go well. Prairie View is what they're 7-2. Yeah, I don't know.
And Prairie View is not a slouch. They're HBCU, but A&M is more than likely going to beat Prairie View and LSU. Now, Bama still has on their schedule Arkansas and Auburn. They're playing a streaking Arkansas this weekend. Number 21 Arkansas against number 2 Alabama. That game at 2:30 p.m. on CBS. I'm sorry, 3:30 because these times are all central here on my computer because I'm in a different zone. That game's at 3:30 p.m. on CBS. They're playing at Bryant-Denny, so they're going to have the home crowd behind them. But Arkansas is definitely surging. They had a rough go of it right after they lost to us and started to slide. I think they lost 3 straight, and then they've kind of been on a little bit of a tear since then. Then after that, they got Auburn, who will be starting TJ Finley for the Iron Bowl. And we talked about that, I think, before we came on the air with regard to why is it that Harsin never started Bo Nix? Why did it take for Nix to get hurt for Finley to come in? And that was the thing. I think we talked about it since we've come on the air, actually. We did. And that's the thing is that now you have to root against yourself. You have to root against Finley to be successful, but at the same time, you need to win in order to keep your job. Like, you either need to win or you need the guy to lose.
Are you really thinking that if he goes out there and balls out, like I think he's going to probably? Do you think he does lose his job?
I don't think he loses his job, but I think they put him on notice. I think he's on a short leash. He won't lose his job, but he'll be on a short leash to start off the next season because
I agree.
There's too many games that Auburn could have won this season that they didn't.
Yeah,
because he refused to pull the trigger. Right. I mean, even in last week's game, he refused to pull the trigger until Nix was hurt and he didn't have a choice but to put him in.
Right.
I mean, I'm sorry if I'm a coach. And I know if I'm a coach, my job is to win games. I said that earlier in the show. I'm not banking my future on a quarterback that's too Dr. Jekyll and Hyde.
Right.
Like I've been saying it all season. You got a few times to do that to me before I pull you. And he's been doing the same thing week in and week out. And Bo Nix will have a great first half and blow a double-digit lead, or they'll come out and stink up the joint the first half and come out and do a come from behind win, or he'll come out of the gate and go wire to wire and have a great game. He has not been consistent the entire season, but you got a quarterback over here. You got a quarterback over here that hadn't been battle tested, but he definitely showed that he knows what he's doing. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't care who you are, not every quarterback can come in to the game in the fourth quarter with the whole game riding on you marching downfield and scoring and march the team 98 yards down the field and score.
Right.
That doesn't happen.
Right.
It never happens. To those of you all watching, thank you for tuning in. I see there's some folks watching here. I don't know who you are, but give us a shout on the comment section. We'll give you a shout back. Thank you so much for joining us. I am Mr. Fingaz, coming to you live from Zagnif Central. That guy right there, my brother from another, Collin P. Virginia's the DMV's largest UGA fan right there.
Absolutely.
Right now we're talking about who's going to win the SEC West. We've discussed the fact that Bama basically has a straight path. All they have to do is win their next two, and it's a done deal. I don't think it's that easy. Auburn's defense is not as dominant as it has been, so there's a chance for somebody to get them. Ole Miss has Vandy and Mississippi State up next. I think where that's concerned, that's a wrap too. So the only thing that they need, what Ole Miss needs for A&M to lose, and they need for Mississippi State to lose. The Mississippi State has Tennessee State. They play Ole Miss. What they need, Ole Miss needs to beat Mississippi State in their final game. But Mississippi State has Tennessee State up tomorrow. Tomorrow. I'm talking like tomorrow, Saturday. Mississippi State has. Wow, there are 3 SEC games on ESPN Plus. Really? Seriously? It's not rocket science, y'all. The West is not wrapped up, and you have 2 games that are in the West.
Mississippi State and Tennessee State's on ESPN Plus.
You got 2 games in the West that are on a subscription-based only network, like outside of your cable provider. Are you seriously kidding me? I hope somebody comes to their senses before Saturday, because I personally want to keep my eyes on that game.
Absolutely.
And all 3 games are on at 11 o'clock. Oh, actually, I have the app for that on my phone, so I can watch that. I'm good. I can put it on my phone and stream it to my TV. I can stream it to my TV. Ha ha.
I can too, boo boo.
I can put it right on the internet I can put it right on the internet from my computer and stream it through the Wi-Fi and not a waffle, the Wi-Fi. So don't come to looking at me talking about let go my ego, because I ain't got nothing. You got to go.
But see, I would love to watch that A&M Prairie View game. Yeah, I think
I would. I would too. I want to watch the Dogs play.
Oh yeah, that goes without saying. Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't foresee how realistic that is, but right now you've got in the West, you've got 4 teams, because Arkansas can get in also, but it's got to be absolute and complete and total bedlam. They have to win out, and then Ole Miss has to split with Mississippi. Ole Miss has to lose to Mississippi State. Texas A&M has to lose to LSU. So Arkansas has to beat Bama. A&M has to lose to LSU. Ole Miss has to lose to Mississippi State. Arkansas has to win both their games, and they can get into the SEC West. So there's a possibility. And Arkansas's game is on. Are they even playing this week? I don't see them on the schedule. Yep, I just called it. 3:30 CBS. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I need more caffeine. So you have 4 teams. You have 4 teams that could potentially go to the SEC championship game. Now, if anybody other than Bama goes to the SEC championship game, they won't have a shot at getting in the playoffs with the number of losses that they have, but they would still have a shot at the conference championship.
Yeah, that goes back to kind of our conversation in the past of winning your conference, in order to go to the playoff. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So, I mean, of course, the 12 team playoff system with some good solid rules laid up in there would take care of that. Man, good God, bro. I mean, I'm gonna have to pull on Uncle Lou. My God, there's another guy we follow there. University of Georgia guy, does some great shows on YouTube. Look him up under Uncle Lou. He calls his show LouTube. Does some great segments. Your season is over, et cetera, et cetera. Great guy. You want to check him out. Also, go shout out to Golden Blue Dude, who we also gave who we also gave a shout out to a little bit earlier. I just want to say this one, not even because I want to talk about it, but I just want to say this again. Texas drops to Kansas. Where they do that at? But we talk about Texas and Oklahoma as well, ladies and gentlemen, because they will either be in the SEC this year or they'll more than likely make the jump in 2022. I think they're going to wait. I think they were going to make the big jump if Oklahoma was able to pull off the undefeated season and make it into the playoffs, but
yeah,
that didn't work out that way. We don't know what Texas is going to do. I think Texas is going to stay in their safe space for as long as they possibly can.
Yeah, I think so too.
But I think the deal is they both have to come over at the same time to keep the number of teams even in the conference.
Mm-hmm.
So, at any rate, Texas, very disappointing season. 5-game losing streak. They were 3-1 going into Red River on October 9th. We know how that went. Caleb Williams was Caleb Williams. And since then, they have dropped 24-32 to Oklahoma State, 24-31 to Baylor, 30-7 to Iowa State. And then they lose to Kansas. Not only did they lose to Kansas, they lost to Kansas in overtime. I'm going to let that sink in for a minute. They lost to Kansas in overtime. That means they had an opportunity to win the game, and they could not fight Kansas off. They could not fight off 1-5 Kansas or 1-8 Kansas or whatever the hell they were. They could not fight them off. I'll tell you what, man. I think Sarkisian needs to go on that list. So now they have West Virginia this coming Saturday at 1 noon on ESPN2. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. You got 2 games that could potentially determine the future of who goes to the SEC championship game on a subscription-only network. But then you got Texas playing West Virginia on ESPN2. Where they do that at? That's what I want to know. And then they got Kansas State the following weekend at noon on Fox. Honestly, to tell you the truth, Texas is 4-6. It's a 50-50 as to whether or not they get a bowl game. I'm still 50-50.
Yeah, I would agree with that as well.
Because right now, I got them dropping one and winning the other one. And I hope, for their sake that they prove me wrong. But that's what I got. I got them dropping one and winning the other one. Those of you that are joining the podcast, hey, how are you? Say hey, drop something in the comments. We'll give you a little shout back. Appreciate it. We don't know who's watching unless you let us know. So
I'm saying Texas is probably going to drop to K-State. I think K-State's going to beat Texas. I think that last game of the season.
Yeah, and then here's the thing. Baylor, who dropped Oklahoma last week, has K-State this week, and K-State is favored. So that's going to throw a whole monkey wrench in the Big 12 because right now you've got Oklahoma and Oklahoma State, both with a loss. You got Baylor with 2 losses, who's in 3rd place. And Baylor needs for one of the two of them Baylor needs for Oklahoma. Actually, Baylor has the tiebreaker with Oklahoma, but they need Oklahoma to drop another conference game because they'd have the tiebreaker. And they need OSU to drop another conference game. So if K-State gets Baylor, that knocks them out of the running. On the flip side of that coin, talking about Oklahoma, because we're getting ready to get into them in a minute. Oklahoma has Iowa State coming up this weekend at 12 on Fox. And Iowa State, I think, is that other team. Iowa State, I told you, this is the gauntlet. I told you that coming in. Texas Tech, Baylor, Iowa State, Oklahoma State. It all depends on, I think this whole thing hinges on how Lincoln is able to motivate his team. Speaking of motivating their team, you and I were talking about this offline before we came on. My God, you want to talk about motivating? Old King Kirby gave those boys a speech that for the purposes of not losing any sponsors, I will not repeat. But he said, I want you to, he basically went in the locker room and said, I want you to eat there. He basically gave him the Mike Tyson speech. My offense is impenetrable. My defense is impregnable. My style is impetuous. My offense is impregnable. I want to eat your heart. I want to take your kids, the whole 9. I want you to steal their will to live. I want you to go out there and beat them in the face and kick them in the sack and stomp a mud hole in their mud hole and leave them on the ground and then go back and stomp on them some more. And then when you're done, I want you to go back and poke them one more time in the eye socket. Like he gave him that speech. And suffice to say, he put a lot of pepper on it. You should have called it a Cajun crawdad meal because it put so much pepper on it. It was too hot for some folks to handle. But it was just like Uncle Shay serve up them steaming hot L's, boy, right on the plate at Club Shay. Yes, he did.
He had a lot of bombs, but it was absolutely for effect, and it actually did have that effect. Absolutely had the effect. Had me want to run through a wall. I was ready to play whatever. Let's go.
I was feeling the same way, and then I said, you know what? I'm 51, and my HMO don't cover all that.
Yeah. Well, here's some more pops from somewhere else that you don't know where it's coming from when you stand up. So.
Oh God, yeah, dude. I stand up. It sounds like a bunch of toddlers playing with a box of bubble wrap. I ain't gonna lie to you. While eating a box of Rice Krispies. So we got Iowa State and we got Oklahoma State. Oklahoma really needs this win this week. They really need to figure out a way to bounce back. And it doesn't help matters much that in addition to losing to Baylor, in addition to the whole Spencer Rattler drama, in addition to all of that, in addition to losing Caleb Kelly in his final game of the season, now the rumors are circulating because we know that the LSU job is vacant. We know that LSU is looking to pay somebody $96 million. You know what? I might need to draw up some plays on a couple of napkins and take a trip to Baton Rouge and be like, hey, I can do that job. I'll be right there with you.
I'll be one of your coordinators. Absolutely.
I will bring you on as my coordinator, and we'll go get our boy Superman.
I'll coordinate something.
We'll go get our boy Superman, and he could be the special teams coordinator because you know he's a softball player, but still, look, I can see him. I can see him walking up during halftime, be like, hey coach, my man, I'm gonna put on a pair of pads and let me get in there for a couple plays, coach. Come on, go ahead. Hey, ain't nobody gonna know. Yeah. So anyway, LSU. Shouts out to our guy, Jordan Foster, a.k.a. Agent 23, professional softball player, Goodwill ambassador for veteran athletes everywhere, doing the doggone thing. Bruh, shouts out to you. We appreciate you. Wow, I'm doing what Sean does. You see what I'm doing? I've been talking. Hey, Sean, I got you. You rub it off on me, man. You rub it off. It's contagious. But yeah, Agent 23, we appreciate you, man. Appreciate you being a show supporter. I don't know. I mean, in addition to all of that, we know that LSU is trying to find a coach. They were looking at Mel Tucker up at Michigan State, but Michigan State pulled the no, not today. They drew up a 10-year, $95 million contract. They want that man to stay at Michigan State because he has been beating Michigan. And honestly, I don't think they care if they win a bowl game or a Big 12, a Big 10 conference or nothing. If he beat Jim Harbaugh, we want him. We want that guy. But you lost all the rest of your games. They beat Michigan. But one of your players got in a fight with the people in the crowd. We beat Michigan. But the team mascot broke loose and got in a fight with two guys in the bar downtown. We beat Michigan.
Now you're not listening. You're not paying attention.
What part of we beat Michigan do you not understand? They wanted Mel Tucker to stay real bad. They gave him a goodly amount of money. Congrats to Coach Tucker on the long-term contract. Looking to see big things out of you. So they started looking around. And I don't know if you remember last week, there was a whole lot of hoopla as to where was Lincoln Riley. They were playing the biggest game of Carmen Sandiego down here in Oklahoma. They were like, was he diagnosed with COVID? Did somebody in his family pass? He wasn't at his press conference. He sent his assistants to do his press conference at Coach's Corner. Where is he? The rumor started circulating. The rumor said that he was on a plane down to Baton Rouge to have a secret meeting with the athletic director to discuss the job. So when they put it to him, it was like, no. What part of I coach for Oklahoma State? Oh Lord, What part? I told y'all I coach for the. He said I coach for the University of Oklahoma. What part of that did y'all not understand? But see, you and I know, bruh. Sometimes you can say stuff without saying it. The part he left off is right now.
Yeah, exactly. Right now. Yes, sir.
The part he left off is until the end of the season, and as soon as that first check clear. You think what I'm saying? Like he's like, I'm the coach of the University of Oklahoma. Okay, but hey, he didn't tell a lie, but he didn't tell the whole truth neither. So that's what we have with Lincoln Riley right now. So there's a big hoopla as to whether or not he's going to stick around. So I don't know if that's going to. I mean, this whole season has been a show. From the whole Spencer getting the big NIL deal to him being the Heisman preseason favorite to Oklahoma's going to run the table and they're going to be in the playoffs to. And I'm sorry, Oklahoma fans, especially those of you that I sit next to when I'm in my cubicle in the office. I'm not trying to throw no dirt on you whatsoever. I'm just telling you what I see with my own two eyes. It has been a small circus. It hasn't been a 3-ring circus. It was a half-ring circus when there was the whole scenario with Caleb versus Spencer. It became a 3-quarter circus when Spencer pulled all of OU stuff and stopped following Caleb Williams and pouting on the sidelines. And then it became a full ring circus when your boy Lincoln Riley's name showed up on the short list for LSU, and it was unaccountable. His whereabouts were unaccountable for about 36 hours.
Yeah, well, I mean, did say that he had to go trick or treat with his kids or something, or had to do something with his kids. He said, when the kids tell you to do something, you got to do it. And I understand,
but hear me when I say Halloween was the 31st of October. He was missing in action last Wednesday.
Oh yeah. I got you.
What were they celebrating the Feast of All Saints Day, which is actually on November 1st? So that would have been Monday. That 2 weeks ago, Monday 2 weeks ago. So where was you at? Where did they do that at, Lincoln? Where did they do that at, Lincoln?
What was you doing?
I'm just saying where they do that at, because we can find out.
Oh yeah, well that's the thing is like you gotta be stupid to not know that somebody's gonna find out where you at and what you're doing. I mean, here's
the thing. It will eventually all come out in the wash. And I think that if he did take that trip, again, it all hinges on how this season ends. Because if this season ends in disappointment for the University of Oklahoma, it will be for him. It could be a good thing or a bad thing. The perfect opportunity for him to just not so quietly slide out the back door and take that job. Because the conversation was had, why would you leave University of Oklahoma to go to LSU? You got six conference championships. You've been in the playoff running. You've gotten very close to making it to a national championship. You had 2 Heisman winners back to back with a Heisman finalist the year after, and a kid who was considered to be in the Heisman running. Although, you know what? Let me pause my train, my roll on OU for a minute. Do you think that there's too much stock put in Lincoln as a quarterback whisperer?
I don't know. What do you mean by that? Explain that a little bit. What do you mean quarterback whisperer?
Well, it's like I said. He had Baker Mayfield. Who went to the college football playoffs, won the Heisman, and then was the number 1 draft pick. You had the next year. You had Kyler Murray, who came in, who won a Big 12 championship, who went to college football playoff, who won the Heisman Trophy, who got drafted highly in the NFL draft.
I see where you're going. I got you.
You had Jalen Hurts come in as a transfer,
right?
Who played very well, who won another Big 12 championship, who I don't remember if they went to the playoff that year or not. Or maybe they didn't go to the playoff with Kyler. Maybe they went with Jalen. But he went to the college football playoff, and then he wound up getting drafted very highly in the NFL draft. So it's been said, and I even said it myself, I said, man, he's a quarterback whisperer. He's a quarterback whisperer. But when you look at it, if you go back, Jalen Hurts came from Alabama.
Right.
Kyler Murray came from Texas Tech.
That was a transfer. Yeah.
Yeah. All 3 of those guys were transfers. Spencer Rattler was his first homegrown quarterback. The guy that he went out and he found and said, I want you to come here. I want you to be my quarterback. and we see how that's gone. I mean,
Right.
he had a decent year last year, but this year the wheels fell all the way off the Sooner Schooner, and it's a little bit of a mess now. And I think that when it comes to quarterbacks, it has kind of sort of become we expect our starting quarterback to be a Heisman candidate every year. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. By all means, believe in your guy, root for your guy, support your guy. But we finally got to see we have a bigger sample size now of Lincoln Riley's first homegrown quarterback. Because what we saw from Kyler and what we saw from Baker was that they were consistently good for a goodly amount of time before they got into the Heisman candidate, and I mean, he wasn't bad last year, so I could kind of see that. I don't know where DJ came from because he didn't get to play any. How the heck was that kid even in the running or a thought process to be a? I mean, I'm not knocking on him. We've seen that he's not what he measured up to, but I think it's just a mere fact that, and see, that's what some people don't understand. This is where I talk about the championship program effect. When you have a program that wins conference championship, when you're in the playoffs on a regular basis, you have a tendency to think that whatever goes through that program will be good, will be better than what everybody else is bringing to the table.
Right.
But I didn't even know who the backup for Trevor Lawrence was until I started hearing him talk about this kid, Ungalele. They kept talking about him and how great he was, and the fact that he got an NIL deal. I was like, how do you get an NIL deal? I haven't seen him play. Is he good?
Right. Yeah.
And then come to find out that no, because he's not the starting quarterback now. He will probably enter the portal at the end of the season.
Yeah.
But my point is that please temper your expectations. Listen, as Georgia fans, even though we are in the top 1%, well, I won't, top percentage of teams in the SEC. Granted, there's only 14 teams, but we're in the top percentage of teams in the SEC. Yeah. It wasn't always that way. And having been a lifelong Georgia sports fan, I have learned to temper my expectations. I want for my team to succeed, but if they don't do well, my feelings aren't hurt because I already know what to expect.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I like to say hope for the best and prepare for the letdown is what I like to say. Hope for the best and prepare for the letdown. So
in Collin and I's lifetime, we have a professional football franchise with 2 Super Bowl losses. We have a professional basketball franchise with 2 or 3 straight conference losses. Like they had to win that series to go to the championship. And that was during the Dominique and Spud Webb days back with the Hawks. We've got a baseball team that won 14 straight National League divisional series and had one World Series to show for it. Yeah. And it took them 25, 26 years to get back to win another one. We've got and in this case, we have one of the best programs in the country in the NCAA Division I men's football that has 2 championships to show for in the last 79 years. We won one in 1942. We won one in 1980. Now there's some other ones that I don't know where this whole claimed and unclaimed come from, but we have those 2 claimed national championships. We've been in a national championship game once. We've won a goodly amount of SEC championships. We've won a whole ton of divisional championships.
We won a lot of those. That's true.
I get it. Your team's good, and they are good. And I'm not dogging your team at all. And this goes for everybody. Give respect where respect is due. Bama, I have preached week in and week out, as has my partner here, about how good Alabama is, how good what Nick Saban has done for that program, to build that program, how it does not matter what exactly it is that you bring to the table that you think that you're going to do on a Saturday, because
Bama does what Bama do.
We have talked about that. Get a t-shirt, by the way. Zazzle.com/Zagnif_apparel. Great shirt.
Talking about Bama is like I'm not even hating on them. Like I mean, they've been good for so long. You know that is where we need to get. You know, we have a protege. We have Smart as our protege, and he's proven to be. You know, give him some time. He's got us there. You know, but we will never, like I said before, we'll never actually hit the pinnacle until we do beat Alabama. Or I mean, if we win a national championship and we don't play Bama, then it's going to be great to win that national championship. But if it isn't Bama, then it's going to lose some of its luster, I think.
No, not for me, bro. I'm still going. I'm going to shed a couple. I'm not even going to lie to you. They say men ain't supposed to cry. If we win a national championship, I'm gonna cry because I was 10 years old. I wasn't even 10. I was 9 years old. I was 9 years old when they won that championship, that Sugar Bowl over Notre Dame. Sorry, Donnie.
The sugar falling from the sky. No, I'm with you, man. I'll have a little bit of emotion myself, but I mean, you kind of can understand where I'm. You know, you've got to beat that alive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Ric Flair said it best. In order to beat a man, you got to beat the man. So we got to get that monkey off our back. I think the last quarterback to beat Bama is playing in Los Angeles right now with the Rams. So if that tells you anything. And that's been 13, 14
that was the one and done. I remember that game vividly. That was the one and done. I remember that.
Yeah. So, but what I'm saying is, if your squad is good and you're used to winning championships, and this also goes for you, Bama fans. I know you all have won the lion's share of those titles over the last decade, 15 years. If things don't work out, they just don't work out. It's all right. None of our lives have changed. We didn't get any NIL deals. We didn't get any of those 6 and 7 figure checks from the athletic department of the school that we root for being great fans. Nobody gave us any trucks or a lifetime supply of Dr. Pepper or what the hell ever else it is to sign up for. None of us are eligible to play in the NFL in the draft. I know to be passionate about your team. You know what?
Oh yeah,
it sucked, but you know what? It'll suck for a little while. Boom, you keep it pushing. That's all I got to say about that.
All I'm saying, give somebody else a chance. Give somebody else a chance. Us. Give us a chance.
Man, don't do that, man, because it make it look like we ain't got no faith in us.
Oh no, I got people that know me, man, don't even. Hey, what comes out here, man? You know I got faith, brother. I have serious faith.
Dude, but the question is, brother Collin, do you have the faith?
Oh no, I got the faith. Faith
shaking,
but it ain't going nowhere.
But do you have the faith, brother Collin? Do you believe that the men in the red and the black will rally and march us on to that great football beyond? That is the college football championship.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's all I needed to know. That's all I needed to know.
Should be.
That's all I needed to know.
No question whatsoever. You know me, man.
I've been yelling "Go Dogs." I've been yelling "Go Dogs" since before I knew what "Go Dogs" meant. I know. I'm just saying that's been a running joke. I've talked about that on the show here a couple of times. I didn't even know. I thought knocking on the door, where every time Larry Munson said the Dogs is knocking on the door, I'm going to check the front door. Yeah, like, what are you doing, boy? So the man on the radio said they was knocking on the door. He said, "Boy, that mean they in the red zone." What's the red zone? Oh, the red zone didn't exist back then.
Yeah,
he said they're getting ready to score. Oh, well, why didn't he just say that? He said they was knocking on the door. I didn't hear nobody knocking. I thought maybe they had a pillow they was knocking with or something.
I've been trying to find a picture of a hobnail boot, man. I don't think it actually exists. I think old Larry was just because I think they asked him about a hobnail boot. He said, "I don't even know what that is. I just came out of my mouth."
I think I researched that. I think hobnail boots are what miners use. The boots with the traction. Yeah, that's actually what that is. They're boots with hobnails. There's boots with hobnails inserted into the soles, so that they can strengthen the heel. And gosh, they are basically work boots.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I see it.
But the miners use them. And he said he didn't know what it was. He probably heard it somewhere because it was probably far, far more common when he was growing up than we were. Because Georgia fans are like, they stepped on the face with a hobnail boot, and there's Georgia fans that know about that call it like, what is that?
Yeah, right. And there was
don't walk around ignorant, people. Use your Google. Use your words. Hey, by the way, did you see my prayer that I had to do, my penance that I had to do for losing to the Dallas? You saw my penance?
No, I missed it. I meant to pull it up, and I haven't seen it yet. I'll pull it up whenever we get done.
Oh, you're gonna have to check that out. I'm also a Falcons fan. Also, Collin's a Falcons fan. We are both Georgia boys through and through. Dogs, Braves, Falcons.
See, that'll make it feel a little bit better if we actually get 2 of the 3, because like we said, the Falcons might be a Bennett. But if we get the World Series and we get a natty, oh man, life will be good for a little while.
Bruh, look, you know how crazy it would be. You know how crazy would it be if Atlanta all of a sudden had a turnaround, like Angels in the outfield or something like that.
I don't know, man. That would be great, but I ain't putting too much stock in it.
Yeah, I know. I would. Yeah, I won't buy that at closing of the stock market. But so here's we got to move on here. Thank you, those of you that are joining us. This next segment, ladies and gentlemen, that we're going to talk about right here is brought to us by one of our segment sponsors. It is 1906tees.com. That's my man Rick. They make some absolutely awesome custom tees. He's actually working on a shirt for me right now. I hit him up and told him, hey man, I want a little something that says, where'd you go? Oh, there you are. This says something in black with some stuff on the sleeves and maybe a OKC dog or something on the shirt or something like that. He's working on that for me right now. I'm going to give you his email information. If you can come up, because he makes custom stuff and it's good stuff. Awesome. It's 1906tees at gmail.com. 1906tees at gmail.com. Hit him up. He makes some good stuff. He doesn't just make Greek paraphernalia. He makes some good stuff. Fraternity brother of mine. But here's what we're talking about. Collin and I have been kicking around this idea. We started kicking it around tonight. What we would like to do, we would like to have a sweepstakes where we give away some money for the national championship game. And that means regardless as to whether anybody from the SEC actually winds up playing in the championship game, although we think that that's a very high probability right now, we'd like to give away some money. And how it's going to work is, well, the idea we have in mind is you all will get an opportunity to send in a vote. We don't know who's in the game yet, so we won't open it up until the game, the participants have been determined after the playoff, of course. But you will get an opportunity to send in your guess. Whoever either hits it on the head, or if no one hits it on the head, whoever comes closest to the score without going over will win some money. Now, Collin and I are both a couple of working Joes, and yes, we do have some sponsors, but God bless our sponsors. We're not hitting them in the pockets because we're just two guys that are doing this right now just for your entertainment and your fun. We haven't gotten to the level yet where we have the 4- and 5-figure sponsorship deals, and we got folks where we're making $200,000 a month off of our videos because of all the viewership and all of that stuff. You know, we're working Joe, so we don't have any money to put in. But here's how we're gonna work it. We do have a Patreon page. The Patreon page, as you can see, is right there. Oh my God, that says Pataron. That says Pataron.com. Oh boy, I tell you what. Let me go ahead and fix it. I can't believe that, man. Okay. Visit our. I can't. Hold on.
That's I was trying to read it myself.
I got it, but it said join our Patreon page today. Pataron.com. Okay. Visit our page at www.patreon.com/Zagnif Productions. We have several packages available. We have a $5 sponsor package, okay? We got a $5 sponsor package. We call it the Thurston Avenue package. It's $5 a month. Most of us blow $5 a month on junk food, on alcohol, on crap that we don't even need. You know, $5 a month, you'll get a very cool Zagnif apparel t-shirt with the logo across the front. I should have thought to pull that up so you all could see that. And you will get, if you sign up for the $5 package, that will get you 3 guesses. We have a $15 package. If you sign up for the $15 package, you will get a personal shout out on our video content. We'll put your name in the credits. We'll give you a personal shout out during the show. Might even give you a shout out during some of our shorts. Actually, what we'll do is we'll give you a shout out during the show. Put your name in the credits down here in the ticker. There it is right there. We'll put it right there in the ticker where you can see down there where it says potential sweepstakes. Your name is going to go right there. If we get a whole bunch of you, we'll run your names across the lower third down there. And you will get, I said 3 for $5, right? For the $15 package, you will get 5 guesses. We're going to put in a $25 package. If you sign up for a $25 package, you'll get 10 guesses. 10, okay? Like Billy Bob said in Varsity Blues. I give it a 10. A 10.
Yes, sir.
You'll get 10 guesses. That's the State Street package, the $15 package. We also have the VIP package right now. That's the black package. We're not expecting a lot of people to sign up for that. That is a $50 a month package. But for the $50 package, you get all the benefits of the State Street package. You get the 15 and the 5. And you will get one of these, and I will show it to you. Collin, talk to the people for a second while I go get what you'll get for the $50 package. I meant to have this out.
Yep. Oh, there we go.
I meant to have this out, but sometimes I'm not too terribly bright. But if you sign up for the black package, which is $50 a month, you will get what I say. So it's 3 for the 5, 5 for the 15, 10 for the 25. If you sign up for the $50 package, we're feeling generous. We'll give you 15 guesses. We're not gonna go that high. There's too much. But if you sign up for the $50 package, you will also get for your $50 package as our thank you a very smooth pair of Zagnif apparel, Chuck Taylor style shoes. We call them the zips because it's got the zipper on the side. And if you look on the back of the spine, it says "Dress like you're already famous." So that's what you get for the $50 a month package. The more people we get signed up, the larger the pot will go. Go to the Patreon page today. Sign up for one of those packages. Sign up for one of those packages at the end of the conference. At the end of the conference championship games, which are on January 1st. Am I not correct? Am I not?
I believe that's correct. Yep, I think that's right.
Conference championships are January the 1st. After the conference championships, we'll know who's playing in the championship. Once we know who's in the championship, you will send us your guesses through the Patreon page. This is the only way that you can sign up to participate in this giveaway. The more people we get in it, the higher the prize will climb. We're looking right now. Our goal is to get right now between now and the end of the year. We want to have at least 10 $5 sponsors and 2 $15 sponsors. And remember, you sign up for the $5, you get $5, you get the t-shirt, you get 3 guesses. You sign up for the $15, you get your shout outs in the show in the lower third, and you also get access to outtakes and stuff like that from the show. You'll also get that t-shirt, but you will get 5 guesses. The $25 package will get 10 guesses. The $50 package will get 15, and these shoes right here. So that's what we got. And then if we get the prize pot high enough, we might give away a couple of dollars for the conference championships also. But that all depends on how high the pot gets. It might get pretty high, it might not get very high. We shall see. If we see that it's climbing pretty high, Collin and I might throw a couple of dollars in there also. Like I said, we're working stiffs, but we can probably throw a couple dollars in there. So go on over there today to patreon.com, not Patreon, as I mentioned earlier. That is absolutely embarrassing. Go to patreon.com/Zagnif Productions. Sign up, find your package, sign up for today. The 25 package is not up there yet. It will be by the end of the weekend, so it should be up there by Monday. But go over there, go ahead and sign on up, and we'll start putting. I don't have any content up there right now because we don't have any sponsors.
We don't have any sponsors.
We don't have any sponsors, right? Well, I mean, we got show sponsors, but we don't have anybody on the Patreon. So go on over there today. Sign up for yourself. Sign up for one of those sponsorship deals. We appreciate you. That's all we got for that. But really, seriously, we want to show you guys that we want to do a little something for you. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
We might throw some stuff out there anyway, man. What kind of stuff do people? I mean, people like Starbucks. Now, you know what though? The folks that listen to our show don't really drink Starbucks. We can't give away beer.
No, I don't think they frown on that pretty much. I don't know. I don't
We'll
know. I might be able to just whatever comes out of my mouth. I might have another saying come out here and shoot you out there.
I tell you what. Here's what I'm going to do for you right now. To those of you that are watching the show right now, pick one of these games, Collin. Give me one of these games to pick from.
What do you mean? What games?
One of the SEC games this weekend. That also includes Texas and OU. Give me one of those games to pick from.
Hang on.
Yeah, we're getting ready to do you guys a solid right now. We're going to start it off right.
All right, let's do this. Let's go. Actually, you know what? Let's go Prairie View. Let's go Prairie View, Texas A&M.
Prairie View, Texas A&M, 12 p.m. kickoff Eastern time is going to be on ESPN SEC Network. I like what you did there because not everybody can see that one. If you all, I need, let's see, send me, where are we going to send them to? Where are we going to have them send the guesses to? Let's see. Oops, I didn't mean to hit the back button. Actually didn't. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to put a new thing up here. And the ticker, let's see, send them to Zagnif Productions. Send it to Zagnif Productions at Outlook.com. That is Zagnif Productions at Outlook.com. Send your guess for who is going to win. This is what I need to know. I need to know who's going to win the game. That's one. The other one I need to know is what the score is. We're going to have two of those. Whoever comes the closest to the actual score or hits the actual score or comes the closest without going over, whoever picks who's going to win the game, and that one's going to be a lot easier because it's a 50-50, and it's first come, first serve. If we get multiples, then we'll do a thing when we'll put the wheel up and we'll show it on the screen. And seriously, you can do the little wheelie dealy thing like Wheel of Fortune, and we'll pick the names at a random drawing. You guys send your guesses right there to Zagnif Productions. Whoever picks the winner accurately, whoever picks the score accurately, and if we have to do a spinning for a random draw, we'll do that. We will get you. I think what we're going to get you, what are we going to give them, Collin? I think we're going to give them. I think we're going to give them.
The Bama does what Bama do.
I think we're going to give them a Bama does what Bama do t-shirt. Now, some of you guys are not Bama fans. Like, I don't even like Bama. Oh, be quiet. It's a free t-shirt.
You know somebody likes Bama. Give it to them.
Yeah. Even if it's all just Bama fans, we got Bama does what Bama do t-shirts. So we don't have this weekend SEC t-shirts yet because our cast changed and we did not mention that. We forgot to mention that. Our third host, Sean Spencer, always will be a co-host of the show, but as you all know, the man is the hardest working man in the podcast and video blog business. He does a show on Monday, Let's Talk Football. He does a show on Tuesday, Let's Talk Football, the Roundtable. He does a show on Wednesday, Washington Football Weekly. He does a show on Thursday, Let's Talk Football, Let's Talk Fantasy Football. Yeah. He does a pregame Let's Talk Football show on Sundays, and if he has time, he comes on with us. And he's getting ready to start up a brand new project. So, and the man's engaged, and he's got I call her almost wife only because they're not married. Cat, if you're watching this, it ain't at the throw at you. Just y'all ain't married yet, so you almost his wife. He's got a fiance at home, and he's trying to spend some time with the missus also. So he stepped away from here. He's always welcome to join us as a guest. We may have a new guest host coming. But we haven't put it. So basically, Collin and I are the anchor show hosts. So we're gonna come up with a little something, and we'll be putting out some Let's Talk Football. This week in SEC football shirts. But right now, whoever correctly guesses the winner of Prairie View versus number 16 Texas A&M, and whoever guesses the closest to or hits the score without going over the actual score for both teams. Each of you will win A This Week in SEC Football, Bama Does What Bama Do t-shirt. Send your guesses right now to Zagnif Productions at Outlook.com. You see it right down there on the screen. Buddy. Man, that's the wrap up this week, man. You got anything you want to put out for the good of the crowd this week?
Not right now. I think we're good to go. We've talked about a lot, and we'll see. There are a few good games this weekend, like we said. I'm kind of anxious to see what happens, because it's already been a kind of a interesting year so far. So we're coming to the end, so it could potentially get crazier. So
yeah, bro, it's crazy. The season just started, and now we have 2 weeks left, and it's also even crazier that with 2 weeks left, that there's still the potential that if certain things happen. Now, of course, it has to start with Arkansas. The ball has to start with Arkansas. But if everything goes like we called it, that the SEC West could go a completely different direction. That as of right now, on Thursday, November 18th, with 2 games left in the season, the SEC West is still not decided. And that just does not happen. Because normally by now, Bama or Auburn or
LSU.
Thank you. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
One of the three, you do it better than I do. One of those 3 teams has already got it locked up by this time in the season, and it hasn't happened yet. So, so craziness, good stuff. I did get a chance to take the missus before the show today. To those of you that also might be fans of the Food Network, my wife and I got an opportunity to meet the very lovely and very sweet Ree Drummond, also known as the Pioneer Woman. She was doing a book signing downtown. She is from here, so she's doing a little bit of a book tour because she's got a new book out. She was at the store with her sister and her daughter. So we got a chance to talk to her sister, got a chance to talk to Ree. We didn't see her. I mean, we saw her floating around, but we didn't get a chance to talk to the daughter. A lot of fun. Wife was totally stoked. It was like, okay, I'll put it to you like this. I don't get starstruck over a whole lot of people. I met a sitting president of the United States, and you see the picture. Me and him are standing, shaking hands, talking like we old buddies. Yeah. Hey, Mr. President, very nice to meet you. Blah 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 blah. We were talking, chewing it up. I don't get starstruck very often. I got to meet Boyz II Men, and I had this whole thing. They had a setup where, back in Virginia at the Birchmere in Alexandria, where they had that side room off to the side where they do the meet and greets, and you stand in line, they let you come in, they open the doors, they close them behind you, go in there, you meet them, take pictures, chop it up, blah blah blah. Well, I'm standing there, and they open I got this whole thing planned out. Like, I'm gonna go in and start, like, when the doors open, I'm just gonna go in and start singing Motown Philly back and see if they join in, right? Like, I was gonna see if I could get to be the 4th member of the group for like 30 seconds. Man, they opened the doors, and I saw Nate and Sean and Wanye standing, because at this point Mike had left the group. Nate, Wanye, and Sean are just standing there, and they're like, "Hey, bro," and I'm like, yeah, brothers, it's nice to meet y'all, man. It's like I loosened up some when we started talking, but I was like, yo, hey, so I stand here, yeah, okay, cool. I'm trying to look cool, like, don't look dumb. Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? So, and my wife was kind of the same way when she got to meet Ree. She was like, oh my goodness, hi, it's so nice to meet you. And and then here's the funny part. Here's the funniest part of the whole thing. So we stood next to her, we took a picture, and then they can't just come around the other side while the guy took more candid photos while she's talking to us and signing the books, right?
Right.
And she's like, and so we really appreciate you coming down here today. And then she looks over her shoulder at me and goes, and thank you for being a good sport and coming down. I said, hey, hold up. I watched the show too. And then her eyes got kind of big. And I was like, yeah, my favorite part is like when you cook and you take the food out to the ranch hands and you feed the ranch hands. And then like your real big table you have out back where y'all go and sit and eat outside. She's like, oh yeah, that's my favorite part is being out there about cutting the grass. You just got to cut the grass. I said, I love cutting grass. Like, hint, hint. Like, hint, brother need a side gig. You need somebody to cut it?
You need somebody to cut it?
I come cut it. I got to push mower. It's going to take me a minute with a small bell. You got a riding mower? You mean all I got to do is ride down there and I can use your lawnmower and I can eat your food and I don't want to be on the TV though, because I don't want nobody coming at me with their hand out looking for some money. I get to eat some food and say, hey, I'm there.
I'm not lying though, because every time she's on that show, though, it looks like she has a perma smile. It looks like she's got those dimples, and it makes my face hurt because I don't think she's even trying to smile. I think that's her natural look, but it just makes my face hurt.
It is,
like
bro.
All the time.
It was so funny too because we were in line for like two hours, and when we finally got up to the front, we were like there was a group up there that got up there. She's like, "I'll be right back. I take a powder break." And so it was like this perfect setup because we're just standing there and we're talking to her sister, and then she comes walking back up and she's standing there and she's talking to us and she's talking to the other group, and my wife was standing there and I could just hear her going, "Oh my God, she is so pretty. Her hair is so pretty. She's got the most beautiful smile." I'm like, yeah, you get to meet the Pioneer Woman. Like I had my starstruck moment and she had her starstruck moment. So
yeah, that's awesome. Didn't you say she was pretty tall though?
Oh, bruh, she's tall as me.
No kidding. I didn't realize she was that tall.
She actually looked to be a little bit taller than me. Like the heel that she had on had like a little bit of a heel. So we're probably eye to eye. Like, and dude, I'm 6'9",
5'9", 5'8", 5'9", 5'10".
I'm 6'1".
Oh, you talking about she's 6 foot?
Yeah.
Oh my God, she's taller than me.
And her sister's like probably 5'10", 5'11".
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah. And it's like we got in the car. She's like, she's so pretty in her hair, and she's got this great white smile. And I was like, like my wife was like, oh, I take that back. My wife did have another starstruck moment, and I tease her about this sometimes. We went the first time we went to see Boyz II Men together, she and I. Boyz II Men have this a bit that they do every time they sing "I'll Make Love to You." They hand out roses to the crowd,
right?
And the Birchmere is real small. So it's like the Birchmere, like Breakers is bigger. The performance area, Breakers in Herndon is bigger than the Birchmere.
Wow.
So we got there early because it's you get seated in the order you go in. So we got there real early. It's like we got to get there early so we can get up, so we can sit up close. And we're sitting up close, and I was like, "Go get your flower, go get your flower." And Sean handed her a flower, and she's like, "Oh my God, I got a flower!" And then she took it and she hung it upside down because if you hang them upside down, it preserves them. Man, I think she still got that flower to this day, and that was 10, 11 years ago.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but it was so funny to watch my wife be starstruck with Ree Drummond like I was with Boyz II Men.
Yeah.
So anyway,
awesome.
I know that's got nothing to do with SEC football. So those of you that tuned out because y'all don't want to hear about that, y'all'll be all right. My wife had a good day, and when my wife have a good day, that means I have a good day.
That's right.
So I'm happy. Look, I took my wife. Look, I went downtown to see Ree Drummond. I can't find nothing to rhyme with Drummond. So I didn't get a triple-double. But my wife paid for Wendy's, got me a sandwich with chicken that's so crispy it crumbled. Then that's not even true because I had a hamburger. But anyway, so what can I say? I can't rhyme worth a damn, but today was still a good day. And I think that's the perfect note for us to sign off. Ladies and gentlemen, we will see you on Monday. Hey, man, to the dogs, go dogs. We'll see y'all. Oh, my wife just came in to say hi. I hear you talking about me. So she just came in and said hi. Yes, I was talking about how you got to meet Ree Drummond and how you had how you had your starstruck moment, like when I met Boyz II Men, like yeah. So we were just signing off. So we will see y'all, Collin. You and I we'll probably be texting each other on Saturday about the game. To those of you that are watching today, thank you so much. Do not forget to send us your picks for Texas A&M, Prairie View A&M. Whoever picks the winner accurately, whoever gets the closest to or hits the score without going over will win a Bama Does What Bama Do t-shirt. Now, as far as the sweepstakes for the championship, go to the Patreon, not the Patreon. Go to the Patreon page. That's patreon.com/Zagnif Productions and sign up for one of those packages today. It's 3 for $5. It's 3 for $5. It's 5 for 15.
Mm-hmm.
It is 10 for 25, and it is 15 for 50. And if you sign up for the 50, bam, there it is. You get them right there. Anyway, we're gonna get out of here. We will catch you guys next week. I am Mr. Fingaz. That is my man, Collin Peter, brother from another. We'll see you later. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs, you guys.